So we've got... You may recognize this man. This is Elvis the Alien. And we're watching his video on a horror movie so silly he can't help but love it, called COBWEB. And Elvis is pretty wild. He's a character. He's a character. And I really like his movie reviews, so we're gonna watch it. But apparently this is a silly horror movie. And you guys know I like horror comedy and like really stupid horror movies, so I want to see this because I've never heard of this movie before. Yeah, I freaking love Elvis. So we're gonna switch things up a little bit.
Movie, Janice from Mean Girls and Homelander from The Boys have a daughter that looks like an ugly goblin Rapunzel.
Oh.
She's so hideous, in fact, that they killed a girl on Halloween just for looking at her. Then they locked their goblin daughter away in the walls of their house.
Oh,
if
great.
that sounds like a fun time to you,
Yeah.
then you're gonna love this movie. It's called COBWEB. It was released in 2023, and it was directed by a man named Samuel Bowden. This is the first movie of his that I've seen. It stars Lizzie Kaplan, Anthony Starr, and Woody Norman. And now for a quick word from our sponsor.
No!
Thank you so much to Opera Desktop for sponsoring this video. You deserve a better
I
browser.
want to
You
watch
deserve
the
to
silly
improve your
movie.
The movie mostly
you.
follows Peter. He starts to notice a strange noise coming from his wall.
Chatronic would be on a VTuber stream.
Yeah.
Very glad he gets his recognition.
We actually watch all of his curse commercial videos on my stream. I love Chad.
He's got the ugliest wallpaper known to man. What are those, hot air balloons? Looks like shit. Anyway, Peter tells his mom that he heard something in the wall. So she enters his room and knocks on the wall, knowing full well that she locked her own daughter in there. What would she have done if her daughter knocked back?
Huh?
Thankfully for this movie's plot, she didn't. I think they think that their daughter's dead, but to their surprise, she's been able to survive all these years off of bugs and rats, I guess.
Oh my god.
Where does she get her water? Who knows?
Why does she
Probably
look
jammed
like
one of her
that?
goblin teeth into a pipe or something. They don't really answer those questions because who cares?
Wait. It says Remy when he returns home to find a goblin instead of his family. What?
This is what the girl looks like. Very normal. She looks like a monster from Where the Wild Things Are. Peter is relentlessly bullied at school by a group of douchey kids.
Girl, fuck them kids.
In one of Peter's classes, there's a substitute
my
teacher
God.
named Miss Divine. She gets to know Peter because he doesn't attend recess due to the kids who bully him. Peter's dad
I hate
tells him
kids.
about a little girl who went missing on Halloween. This is the same girl that they
This
killed
movie's called
because
COBWEB.
she got a glimpse of their freak daughter.
Am I gonna disappear?
No. Oh, we would never let that happen.
So that was a fucking lie.
The girl on the walls whispers to
no.
Peter, so he freaks out and calls his dad into the room. Mark examines the wall and blames rats.
Y'all killing me with this.
So this goblin girl in the wall has a plan to convince Peter to kill his parents and to set her free.
What?
Yeah, it's a pretty far-fetched plan. But lucky for her,
Wallace
he's a bully victim at
speaking.
school. So she uses that to get closer to Peter. Let's just say that you're these parents, right? I don't know why you ever would be. They're kind of psychotic. Anyway, you lock your goblin-ass daughter into the walls.
Dad, thank you for
Why
3
you
months.
don't move house, who knows? I don't know why you would want to live there if the corpse of your daughter is in the walls, but hey, maybe they're concerned that the next people that move in
Yeah.
will find out.
Still got that deposit check?
That's why their house looks like shit. It looks so old, it hasn't been updated in years. Back to the point at hand, if you're one of these parents and your son is telling you that he's hearing something in the walls and you're responsible for putting your daughter in these walls, I think you might put 2 and 2 together.
Yep. I
These
think
two
there's
people
plenty
are
of other
dumb as
better
stumps,
options than
so it
putting
takes
her in
them
the
quite a
fucking
while
wall.
to catch on. It's not even like their son asked them one time. He tells them over and over that he's hearing something in the walls, and not once do they think, maybe our daughter is still alive and we should take care of that. I don't know, gas her out or something, and then afterwards go on vacation until the smell subsides. Or I don't know, go back there and shoot her. They have a door behind a clock that leads behind the walls. That's how they were able to put her back there. So just go into this door with a shotgun. She can't run very far, and if you do some damage to your walls, well, I think it's time for some renovations anyway.
White people renovating
houses.
Ain't that real?
Instead, they ignore this problem and hope that
Crazy.
their daughter in the walls will chill out or something. We later find out that she's been in these walls for years. If she's survived this long,
How long
then
we
she's
talking?
probably not going to die anytime soon. She found some strange unlimited stash of bugs and water back there.
Huh.
So do
yeah, I
something
guess
to
so.
take care of this problem.
She got those
Peter
Gamer
draws
Subs
a painting at
bars.
school that shows his wall saying, "Help me." But the teacher thinks that it's him saying this, so she grows concerned and visits Peter's house. She gives the drawing to his mother.
Peter has an overactive imagination.
She shows Peter,
Yeah?
and she's like, "Why are you asking for help?" When she knows damn well what the picture means. She keeps pressing Peter about it too, when she should say something like, "Is this picture you asking for help, or is it someone else, like a ghost?" You know, to get the truth out of him. This way she would learn for sure if her daughter was alive, and if she was trying to contact Peter. But instead she's like, "Why are you asking for help, Peter? Huh? Tell me now." That night, the girl in the walls bangs on the walls to wake up Peter. Shouldn't the parents hear something
I was
banging on
just
the
gonna
walls,
say that.
even if they're in a different room? I don't know, whatever. Peter wakes up and the girl starts talking to him. And they start forming a bond. This douchebag named Brian at school destroys Peter's
Carving
pumpkin.
pumpkins at
and
school?
Peter really liked this pumpkin.
No! That's a good pumpkin!
So the next day, Brian brings in a replacement. I guess he got in trouble with the parents, so he kind of had to remember what Peter's pumpkin looked like and draw the same face on a different pumpkin and bring it to school to give to Peter. It's
The
so
nose looked
funny.
like boobies.
I honestly laughed when he walked in with the pumpkin. The girl on the walls convinces Peter to stand up for himself.
Do it.
So he ends up pushing Brian down some stairs, which breaks his leg.
Oh my god!
Karma.
Homelander grounds Peter because he got expelled. And that doesn't mean he has to stay in his room for a month. Instead, they force him to live in this creepy basement. The door to it is locked and hidden behind
No.
a fridge. I
Their
know
daughter's
Peter's
in the
just a
walls
kid,
and their
but
son's in
wouldn't
the
that be
fucking
kinda
basement
weird,
now?
Right? It looks like they're hiding something. And why would they
Call
continue to
CPS?
hide their basement if their daughter is in the walls? Later, we find out that their basement has this strange, like, pit installed with a caged door on top. It's pretty deep, too. And I guess that's where they kept their daughter for some time before deciding to put her in the walls instead. Because that's a lot more secure, I guess. Did they put her in the walls because they thought she was dead? Because I can't think of any other reason they would do this. We later find out that they killed a trick-or-treater and buried her in their garden. So why wouldn't they do the same thing with their daughter? Unless they're
What?
keeping her alive in their walls because they still care for her?
This plot
Which I
is
don't
so
think
wild,
is
man.
The case, because how would they be feeding her? The only entrance to the walls is through a locked door behind a clock, and it's not like this goblin girl can't defend herself. She kills people very easily later in the movie. So if her parents were feeding her, she would just wait for them to open the door, kill them both, and leave. So they must think that she's dead in there. So this means they put her in the walls while she was still alive, which is so idiotic. If they had any visitors, she would just bang on the walls and scream, and they would obviously be able to hear her.
So
if she was in this
stupid.
pit in the basement, it would be a lot harder for people to hear her down there. Not to mention, it would be a lot harder for her to hear anybody entering the house if she were down there. Anyway, it's also really strange that they hid away their basement because that's a lot of useful storage space that they're not using. Miss Divine shows up at the house again because she's concerned that Peter's in danger. Mark lets her in
What?
the house, even though he knows that his daughter is alive in the walls. I mean, technically he doesn't know, but I just don't accept that, okay? I mean, the movie
And is
wants
the son
us to
still in
think
the
that
basement?
He doesn't know that his daughter is alive in the walls.
What are they gonna do to the teacher?
But he does. It's so obvious.
teacher's the one good
Peter's
character.
hearing something in the walls. What else could it be? He says that it must have been a rat
Are you
earlier, but
winning,
like, come on,
Sinder?
dude. And not only that, he locked his son up in the hidden
I'm not really
basement.
playing anything.
And he lets this teacher
Sure.
into their home. It's so weird. Like, what if he was screaming? You couldn't exactly let the teacher know about your hidden basement. While Miss Divine is in their home, their goblin daughter remains quiet in the walls. It's so weird. Shouldn't she be banging the shit out of these walls and screaming? Especially if she wants to be set free so bad? This would be a great opportunity to take advantage of. I know she doesn't want her parents to know that she's still alive, but I think trying to get Miss Divine's attention would be a much better way to try and achieve freedom than trying
She's
to
just
convince
introverted.
this kid to kill his own parents and set you free. But whatever, what do I know? Maybe the Goblin Girl was sleeping when Miss Divine arrived. That's probably what was happening. Peter does attempt to make some noise,
Trippy, thank
but
you for
the
the
laundry
prime.
is going at the same time, so Mark blames the laundry. These parents act like psychos when Miss Divine is there too, which is definitely giving her more of a reason to be skeptical of them. So why invite her into your home in the first place? Carol just straight up yells at Miss Divine.
These parents
She's
are
like,
not
why
the
are you being
smartest
so
people.
weird with my son?
They're not.
Yeah, you're making a great case for yourself.
No, they're yelling
not
at
the
her.
smartest parents on earth. Eventually, they release Peter from the basement. That night, he hears the Goblin Girl again. He's directed towards a hole in the wall that she made, I guess. Which is weird, right? If she can make a hole in the wall, why didn't she just,
Yeah,
try
couldn't
to
she just
escape? Maybe
break the
she's
wall
been making
down?
this hole for years. She spills the beans to Peter, so he learns that she's his sister and that their parents are evil. She tells him that she's been waiting for him to get old enough so he could move a clock that sits in front of a door that leads inside the wall so she can escape. Peter has a nightmare, and it's so goofy. His father, Mark, is standing in the corner of the room, and he already looks pretty creepy, but they do this thing where they match his blinking with some music. And I did not find it scary at all. It's so silly looking. And then his mother, Carol, comes out of nowhere. Her eyes look pretty creepy, and she rushes at Peter. The lights go
Here
off,
she
and you can
comes.
still hear her running. But she was pretty close to the room when the lights went off, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense that it would take her that much longer to get to his room, you know what I mean? I don't know, I found this scene more funny than scary. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that his family lives on a tiny pumpkin patch. It's so weird. They don't ever mention why they live on a pumpkin patch. Do they sell these pumpkins? Why do they have them? The only reason I can think of is that this is a Halloween movie. Pumpkins are relevant.
Well,
for
maybe
Halloween,
they
right?
like
Let's make
pumpkins.
them live
They have
on
a little
pumpkin
garden.
patch. The Goblin Girl on the wall
Nailed
tells Peter
it.
to
Thank you
look
for
in the
subbing.
garden because
Welcome.
that's
And
where
Red
they
Titan,
hide
thank
the
you for the
bodies.
tier 3.
Peter goes
Holy
out
shit,
there and
thank you so
digs like
much.
2
Thank you for
inches
3
down
months.
and finds a skull. She wasn't very,
Whoa,
very well, to
spooky.
say the least. The girl tells Peter that a trick-or-treater saw her one year, so their parents killed her and buried her in the pumpkin patch. Was she trick-or-treating alone without her parents? How the hell do you kill a trick-or-treater on Halloween without anybody noticing?
They can just think
Unless
it's a
like
costume.
a dead night, and that was the only
What's-
one. It's just so funny
What?
to me. These people killed this girl
That doesn't
for
make any
just
sense.
seeing their daughter. Little drastic, I think. What, because their daughter was creepy looking and they couldn't live with people knowing that? Maybe they didn't want
They're
people
supposed to
knowing
look
that they
scary
had
on
a daughter.
Halloween.
It's just so
One person
crazy
saw
to me,
her.
you know? Why didn't they just make up an excuse for this girl? Why didn't they just tell her something? Tell her that she's not your daughter, that she's your niece that lives in New York or something. I don't know, dude. Just think up something. Killing her is like the last thing they should have done, you know? It's just insane to me that the writers
Like
couldn't
I
think
said,
of
the
anything,
parents are not the
You
brightest.
know? If you want these two people to kill someone, then at least make it believable. Whatever. Peter calls Miss Divine and asks her for help.
That's the smart thing to do.
Message for you.
His mother overhears this call, and she just pops up in the room randomly, like she's a ghost or something. She tries to rectify the situation by calling Miss Divine back. Eventually, Peter's mother finds the hole in the wall. She freaks out and eventually tells Mark about it. Brian and the bullies show up to check out the house, because later they want to go to this house and beat the shit out of
Oh
Peter.
my god, it's
This scene just reminds me of that scene from The Shining.
it's
house,
no,
because
it's
later
Winnie
they
the
want to
Pooh.
go
It's blood and honey.
to this house and beat the shit out of Peter. This scene just reminds me of that scene from The Shining. You know, the one with the mask.
Ew.
On Halloween night, the family
That's
is
so
at the dinner
scary.
table eating liquid shit soup. It doesn't taste the best, so Daddy ends up puking and dies. Okay, I lied. Peter put rat poison in his mother and father's soup. Before vomiting, his mother chases him with a kitchen knife to kill her own son, I guess. Peter kicks her down some stairs. This little guy likes kicking people downstairs.
He's good at it.
His mother's last words are, because I guess they gave birth to a devil spawn, but they never explained why. They just did. So yeah, Peter takes the keys from his mom, he moves the clock, and unlocks the secret door to let her out. He does so, and he instantly regrets it.
Oh, fuck.
This bitch is weird. She's like a female golem with 20-foot long hair. And I'm not exaggerating. Her hair is at least 20 feet long. So the stalkers from Lies of P show up to beat the shit out of a 7-year-old kid. Like they bring hockey sticks and shit.
What?
Little bro Brian comes along too.
Oh my
using
God.
crutches. What did they plan to do if the parents were home? Beat the shit out of them as well? Or what, just kill the whole family? Very normal. So yeah, obviously these kids are just fodder for the goblin girl.
Oh my
Whenever
God.
someone sees this girl, they normally just see her long ass wig. I know it's supposed to
How
be
did
her
her even
hair,
get
but it's
that
so
long? Like, how
obviously
many
a
years
wig,
was she in
and
there?
then they get killed by her. It's almost as if she purposefully uses her hair to distract her victims. Most of what we see of this girl is just
Okay,
her
look,
hair.
look. Fart jokes usually don't get me. I usually think that kind of humor is so fucking stupid. But when you put it in this context, like, come on, look. It even has like a little bump, like a replay bump.
It's almost as if she purposefully uses her hair to distract her victims. Most of what we see
Again,
of this girl
again.
is just her hair.
Do it again. Wait. I don't think I backed up far enough.
Were home. Very normal. The goblin girl. Whenever someone
it
sees
again!
this girl, they normally just see her long ass wig. I know it's supposed to be her hair, but it's so obviously a wig. And then they get killed by her. It's almost as if she purposefully uses her hair to distract her victims. Most of what we see of this girl is just her hair.
Hello? What? That is so weird.
Scary.
Whoa! Again?
Whoa.
What the hell's happening? Come on, dude. I know, you're gonna get pulled away, yep, okay.
You can see the hand pulling the wig.
Really?
She climbs around the ceiling and her long ass hair is dangling down. She giggles like an evil version of Disney's Goofy as she does this. Gosh. It's pretty wild how strong this girl is. She kind of resembles the girl from The Grudge, just by the way she walks. You know, she
Ooh.
has that creepy, like, spider walk. She tells Peter a story about how poorly she was treated as a kid. We're never given an answer as to why this happened. Maybe because she was different and weird looking like Baby Grinch. She was ostracized in the same way. She tells Peter that she learned how to climb and bite over the years as she was held captive.
Oh.
This totally explains her superhuman strength and how she's able to lift these fully grown men like they're rag dolls. She must have been doing a lot of push-ups.
Hey, yo,
So Miss
Sporticus.
Divine shows up at their house
AJ,
late at
thank you
night
for 15
because she's very
months.
concerned about Peter since that phone call. Why didn't she call the police first? Or CPS? Why does she insist on being
Right?
the hero?
Oh my God.
Anyway, she's greeted by an evil wig.
Typical horror
Do
movie.
you wear wigs?
No, I do not.
Have you worn wigs?
No, I have not.
When will you wear wigs?
Miss Divine sees the creepy golem girl and attempts to leave the house in fear. But oh no, the front door is locked.
What?
Okay.
Unlock it.
You're literally staring at the lock. Anyway, she doesn't think to do that. She hears Peter yell for her to run, so she attempts to save him. God damn it, dude. I hate stupid people in these movies. I mean,
Yeah.
I know that he's a kid.
It makes it
and
more
she
entertaining.
Feels bad for him. She connected with him at school. She, feels responsible for him. She wants to save him, but still. She finds out that he's trapped in the wall.
Oh my God.
Gollum attempts to get in Peter's room, where Miss Divine is, but she closes the door. Oh no! Goblin Girl's only weakness,
Not the door.
wood. She can't get past the door. It's a barrier. What's she supposed to do? She can decapitate people, no problem. Throw fully grown men around like rag dolls. But doors. Oh shit, she can't deal with that. So what does she do? She runs back into the door to get inside the wall to get Peter.
Yep.
As Miss Divine hacks at the wall to make a hole big enough for Peter to escape. Eventually she gets Peter out, but it doesn't matter. Goblin Girl drags him back in.
Whee!
The Goblin Girl puts Peter into the huge pit cage in the basement.
Oh.
This part is so funny, dude. Look at how long her hair is. Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? We get a look at her face, and she tells Peter that she was born this way. She just has the genetics of a Lord of the Rings orc. I mean, it's just that simple. And then Peter uses her hair to climb out of the hole.
Rapunzel.
It's so good. I love it. Peter pulls at her hair as Miss Divine beats her. They throw her ass in the cage. and lock it. This leads
What's
me
that
to
gonna
ask,
do?
why didn't the parents just keep her in this cage?
Yeah,
you know?
they- like I
What was
said, they
the
were not
point in
smart.
putting her in the walls.
They were not
it's
smart.
not like they had to worry about Peter finding the basement. The door to it was hidden behind a fridge. The movie ends with this goblin girl telling Peter that she's gonna always be there haunting him, you know? You're never gonna know if I'm there or not. I might escape at any moment, even though I was stuck in this wall for 20 years. So yeah, that's the movie Cobweb. I loved it. It's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think
5
of this
stars.
movie as a comedy more than a horror. It's a pretty good time if you want to give it a watch. Thank you so much to all my patrons that make
I
videos
liked
like
when
this
the
possible.
little kid pushed the other little kid down the stairs and his leg broke.